Hey guys, welcome to Instagram Live. My name is Annie Spano. I am the founder of Style Collective, which is a platform for female influencers to connect, grow, and learn how to be successful bloggers and entrepreneurs. Tonight we are talking about blog expenses. I know that this is not the sexiest topic, but we are going to make it fun. If you are scared of numbers, send me an emoji letting me know that you're scared of numbers, because we're going to make it super easy for you. In case you guys didn't know, I was a math teacher for 2 years. Math was my major in undergrad, so I am totally numbers girl, and this is totally my thing. When I was a teacher, I used to play all kinds of games with my students. We proved the theory of pi on Pi Day, which is 3.14, and we had celery and carrots that they were throwing across the classroom, determining the approximation of pi on a grid that was on the floor of the classroom. So I love to take complex problems and turn them into fun learning games. That's kind of my thing that I loved doing as a teacher. So if you are nervous about blog expenses and taxes and how to track all of that, do not fear. It is really not that scary, and it's pretty straightforward because you have to submit everything to the government, and your tax forms are not too bad. So you can make it work. Just stick with me. So this post that I'm going to be talking about tonight is exclusive to members. If you are not a member, you can check out the website. The link is in our bio. It's only $10 a month or $99 a year. Or if you want a nice little consulting call with me, it's $4.99 for a lifetime membership, and you get a consulting call included. We get some one-on-one time. So if there's any SC sisters in here, send me some heart emojis, say hi. Awesome! Can't wait for you to join. So this post is included. We do weekly worksheets for you guys, weekly posts, Instagram Lives, quarterly e-courses. We have events during the year. We're working on a conference for 2018, which will be for SC members only. Lots of good stuff every single week and on the regular basis. Hey ladies! Hey Chelsea! Hey Gretchen! Hey Madison! So happy to see you ladies. Yay! Awesome. So let's get started about blog expenses and worksheets. Actually, yes. So I am still in Florida, which is why I pretty much gave up on doing my hair, because it's like 97, feels like 106, and really humid. So this is the look that you guys get tonight. 0 F's given. So yeah, still in Florida. I will be here for the next week and a half, which is why my setup is not what it usually is with Instagram Live, and I literally have like a rubber band going across the screen holding my phone up on an iPad stand. So not ideal, but making it work. The conference is going to be in Raleigh, North Carolina. I heard from you ladies that there's a lot of West Coast conferences, so we are having an East Coast. I'm going to do the first one in Raleigh, which is where I'm going to be moving to. So that will make the first one a little bit easier to plan, and then from there we'll see if we'll do other locations or just keep doing it in Raleigh, because it's a really awesome airport to fly into. It's super easy, 15-20 minutes from where the conference center will be and the hotel will be, and never really any delays, a really pretty airport. So yes, East Coast, very excited. And not New York City. New York City is always such a disaster to fly into, because it's like an hour to get into the city from LaGuardia or JFK or even Newark if you decide to fly into Newark. Anyways, enough of the tangent. So tonight we're going to be talking about blog expenses, and we also have a worksheet in this post for you guys to download if you want to do it the old school way and keep track of your expenses on a nice little printout. So the goal with this post and this Instagram Live is to make things a little easier, a little less scary, because taxes, you know, Mr. Taxman comes around every quarter, and quarterly taxes are due on September 15th, so you do need to file your taxes if you have your blog registered as an LLC. Sorry about the car honking. Out of my control. Okay, so here's some quick tips and tools that we'll talk about during this Instagram Live. The first quick tip is to keep your receipts. Whatever you need to do, if you can use an app to take a picture of the receipt before you throw it away. If you have an American Express card, you can do receipt match and match the receipt with the expense that's put onto your credit card. You can file it in a folder. You can put it in a huge messy pile in the back of your closet or in the corner of your office. Whatever you do, make sure you keep your receipts, whether it's the physical version or a digital copy of your receipts. The second is you need to set some goals for yourself. If you want people to take you seriously in this industry as a business owner, you need to treat your blog as a professional. And especially because when you're an entrepreneur, you don't have a boss. The only person that's going to hold you accountable is yourself. So you need to have accountability. We linked a worksheet in this post, setting goals as a newbie blogger. Even if you've been blogging for 6 months or a year, it's a good idea to sit down and have a review. Do like a 6-month review or an annual review, just like you would do in your job, and measure your goals. How are you doing against a year ago? And have your goals changed? Have you learned something about blogging? And maybe what you started with is now different. You're changed your strategy for your blog. So it's always good to reevaluate and change your strategy. It's something that I learned in business school. It's called the S-curve. So basically on the S-curve, what you want to do is you are starting out with your product or company, and you have to keep evaluating and changing and shifting, because eventually people are going to be copying what you're doing. And if you don't stay ahead of that curve and ahead of the trends, then the people that copy you are just, whatever you're doing is going to become a commodity. And then you're not going to be unique, and you're not going to be able to recapture your market share for that product or service that you've created. So by always looking ahead and reevaluating what you're doing and coming up with new ideas, new directions, and coming up with new things that you can be doing with your blog or your business, you stay ahead of the competition. And that's why it's called an S-curve, because everyone else just goes tangential to that, but you keep going up on that S-curve and you beat out your competition. Don't be lazy, don't be complacent. You have to do reviews. You don't have a boss, so you got to do it for yourself. Okay, number 3, money is important, but it's not everything. So don't lose sight of why you started blogging in the first place. Money can cause a lot of stress and a lot of anxiety. If you feel that it's a total panic rise in your chest, just recenter yourself and try to prioritize. We have a post that we linked here about monetizing your influence and how to turn your passion into profit. That was an interview with Courtney, and she talks about her 7-year blogging journey and how she has monetized her passion through fitness and wellness and coaching women online and in person as well. So some of the tools that you need when you are tracking blog expenses. So these are some of the tools that we're going to recommend. So first, for taxes, you're going to need to set up your business, your blog, as an LLC. If you've decided that your blog is more than just a hobby and that you want to generate some income from it, whether it be through affiliate links or sponsorships or your own products and services or advertising or e-courses, whatever you want to do to monetize your blog, if it's going to be making money, you have to set it up as an LLC. Earlier in this year, I did a video interview with a tax professional. So we linked part 1 and part 2. The first one is how to start your LLC for bloggers, and it has a checklist that you can download of all the steps that you have to follow. There's a bunch of steps you have to file your LLC. And it's all in this infographic that Amanda gives us. And there's a video that goes along with it that you can watch. The second part is what you can and cannot expense as a blogger. So can you expense a tan or getting your nails done? Those are the kinds of questions that I asked Amanda, because those were questions that I got from the Ladies of Style Collective back when I did this interview in, I think it was January or February. So those are linked in this post, and those are for members only. We do recommend that you should talk to a tax professional that's educated in your particular field, because you don't want to get into a situation where you get audited. But yeah, definitely talk with a tax professional about filing your Schedule C or filing your taxes as an LLC, because there's a lot that you can deduct and you don't want to miss those deductions as a blogger, as an entrepreneur. So the second thing is expense tracking. This is something that you want to do continuously through the year. You don't want it to be April 1st and then you're like, oh my God, I have to compile all of my expenses for the last year before I file my annual taxes, even though you're supposed to file on a quarterly basis. The quarterly basis is like incremental payments that you make throughout the year, and then you file your taxes for the year in April. You look at what you've paid so far, and it should be within a percentage range. There shouldn't be, you can't go outside of certain percentage range, otherwise they tax you a fee for not paying enough. And I think you can also get taxed for paying too much as well. So you have to figure out like what is that rate that you're supposed to be paying for your quarterly taxes, and I would recommend working with a tax professional to help you calculate your quarterly taxes. So when April 15th comes, or 18th, whatever it ends up being this next year, you look at everything that you've paid into for the year, all your quarterly payments, all of your annual expenses, your annual revenue, and then a tax professional can also help you with other deductions as well. Like if you work from home, you can deduct the square footage of your office space and take that as a tax deduction. Because you work from home, you can deduct a percentage of your utilities, your cell phone bill, any office supplies that you buy, if you buy new furniture for your office. There's so many things that you can deduct as a business owner, and it's awesome. It's really awesome. So to keep track of your expenses through the year, because you don't want to wait until April 1st and then be in a panic mode and have to take a week off from your business because you're trying to compile all of your expenses and figure out your revenue throughout the year. You want to know, like most business owners spend just as much time tracking their business revenue and expenses as they spend working on their business. It's really important to know your numbers and know your financials, because there's metrics you need to know, like how fast are you growing and how much retention do you have, and there's all kinds of how much growth do you have, like on a reader basis, a financial basis, like what are your expenses, where can you maybe cut some fat from what you're doing. There's a lot of metrics that you need to be tracking when you're a business owner. So it's not that scary. There's two things of software, or two apps, I guess you could call them, that we recommend. I use both of these, and I have a quote in here from Anna. She's our Instagram manager. She also uses one of these too. So the first one is QuickBooks. Does anyone use QuickBooks? Can you let me know? Do you guys use QuickBooks? So QuickBooks is really awesome. I use it for Style Collective, and then Anna also uses it for herself because she's our Instagram manager, and then she also manages a couple of other companies and their social media accounts and advertising and all that kind of stuff. So she does freelance for many different companies, many different brands, not just Style Collective. So she has stuff coming in from all over. So she uses QuickBooks to track her expenses. She says the following about QuickBooks: I'm so not a numbers person. If you're not a numbers person, raise your hand. Math gives me incredible anxiety, and for a long time I limped my way through taxes and saving and balancing my budget. Yikes. But I'm also kind of a control freak, so I was very frustrated with myself, and it made me even more anxious that I didn't really comprehend what was going on. If this is you, raise your hand. I started researching and experimenting with different apps and software, and it wasn't until one of my friend's moms, an accountant, told me to try QuickBooks that I finally felt like I found something that was visual so I could understand it, but didn't sugarcoat the numbers into oblivion. I feel very comfortable with my finances now and have learned a lot. I would recommend QuickBooks Self-Employed to anyone. So I definitely agree with this. My CPA has access to my, well, he's not a CPA, he's my tax consultant. He has access to my QuickBooks. So if there is an expense that comes up and I don't know what category it goes into, I can categorize it as ask my accountant, and then he can help me figure it out when it comes time to our filing for quarterly taxes. So it's really easy. It has this really neat interface that pops up. You can download the app for your laptop or for your phone, and then it basically pops up and says like, this is your income, and you have to categorize it as sales. these are your expenses, and you have to categorize each expense with a little code that goes with it. So this is a marketing and advertising expense. This is a travel expense. If you are traveling for work and you book a hotel and you book a flight, you can expense those things on your taxes and take them as deductibles. So there's all different options. It's a drop-down menu, so you don't have to guess what it is. You just pick the best category for that expense, and then it automatically goes off into QuickBooks world, and you can generate all kinds of reports. You can look at your P&L, which is your profit and loss statement, on a monthly basis, quarterly basis, annual basis. There's a nice little dashboard that shows you on a graph, like a little line graph, a bar chart actually, your income for the month, and you can switch the metrics, whether it's the month or the quarter or the year, whatever, and it shows you your expenses too. So it's really, really cool interface. I would say that if your business is bringing in, maybe $1,000 a month, you should probably look into QuickBooks. It would be a pretty good investment. I would say up until then, you can use spreadsheets. It's not bad. The other one that I like is Mint. Do you guys know the app? It's called Mint. It's also owned by Intuit, which is the same company that owns QuickBooks. So I love Mint. It's free. QuickBooks, you do have to pay to use it, but Mint is free. You can download it on your phone. You can also log onto their website, mint.com. Yay! I love Mint too. So this one's free. You can set up budgets, which is really nice. You can set up overall budgets or budgets for different categories like groceries, clothing, all kinds of things. You can keep track of your bills on a monthly basis, and you can also see when things are due, bills are due. You can set up savings goals. So if you are trying to save money for your business because you want to reinvest into your business, or maybe you want to hire an assistant, or maybe you're saving for that Gucci bag that you've been wanting for the last 6 months. Helps you set up saving goals so that you can do whatever it is that you need to do. Mint has a great interface. It's really easy to use. You can use it from your laptop, your computer, or your phone. I love Mint. So I started using Mint 8 years ago, which is crazy to me. It was 8 years ago when I found it. But it helped me stay on track with my finances. So in 2009, during the crash, I used to live I grew up in New York, and after college, I moved to New Jersey because that's where Mike is from. And I taught high school math in New Jersey for 2 years, and then in the 2008-2009 school year, they had layoffs because it was the big housing crisis. Mike was also working in New York City at that time, and he also got laid off because everybody was cutting back. So the first year that we were married, we were unemployed, living in his mom's spare bedroom upstairs, trying to figure out what to do with our lives. And when we decided to start over, we moved up to New Hampshire. That's how we ended up in New Hampshire. We moved up there for work. I found a job, and I was literally making $14 an hour. Mike was working on a startup, on a business that he wanted to start with one of his professors from college. So we had an apartment, we had rent, had student loans, groceries, and there was 2 of us, and we were living on $14 an hour for almost a year. And so Mint saved my life. Every single month I was like, can I buy groceries this month? I logged into Mint and I would see like where I was with my budgets, and I set budgets for myself. Like I couldn't go shopping, but I could buy my groceries, and that was fine. I did what I needed to do. Like all of us struggled back then, and we all went through it. So I love Mint because it's free and it really helped me stay on track. You can use it for your business and do the same thing. Set up budgets for yourself. If you want to hire an assistant, set up your budget. You can also track your income that comes in, and it's an awesome, awesome tool. So the third thing, I'm not going to spill it on here because I don't want to like give away all the secrets because this is an exclusive post to members, but we have a couple other apps that you can download in terms of managing your finances. They're apps that you can download on your phone. Some are free, some are paid, meaning it's like $1.99, super cheap. And then we also have a worksheet in case you don't want an app or anything like that, or a program that you have to pay for. We have an old school pen and paper method. You can do your finances on this lovely worksheet that we put together for you, and just download it, print out a bunch, keep it in a binder, have some clear I don't know, clear folders or whatever they're called, to put in your binder and stuff all your receipts in them. And you can just do it the old school way and have like a cute little binder up on your bookshelf that you look at every single day to inspire you to keep track of your expenses and save your receipts. Don't forget to save your receipts. So whatever you guys need with your blogging expenses, we've linked a bunch of things at the bottom of this post. How to monetize your blog, lots of worksheets that we have, how to make fashion blogging your full-time thing if you want to. Yeah, all kinds of really good content in here. So do you guys have any questions about tracking your expenses or anything like that? So quarterly taxes are coming up. You do have to file for, let's see, September 15th. So it's for July and August, I believe. I'm going off the top of my head. Yeah, because the last one was May and June. Yep, so July and August is when you have to file your taxes for. Meaning you have to file your profits and then your expenses and then whatever, your revenue and your expenses, and then whatever's left over for profit, you have to pay your tax on your profit for September 15th. So just a little reminder about that. But yeah, it's not that scary. It's not that bad. It's just like doing your taxes in April, but you do it more regularly. Yes, I do have an accountant that helps me. We started working with him, it was before I started my LLC, when we were just had like our personal taxes, and I'd started going back to school for my MBA, and I got a little bit of a reimbursement to help offset expenses. Like my company helped pay for some of the courses that I was taking, and I didn't know how to file that. I wasn't doing it right. So we ended up getting an accountant to help us, and then he helped me with setting up my LLC, setting up QuickBooks, setting up payroll, because I do have an employee now, and that is a whole other beast of paperwork and taxes that you have to pay if you have an employee. It's all good, but it comes with the territory. There's just a lot that you have to do on the legal side of things. Any suggestions for finding a good tax professional? So this is how we found our tax professional. We went to a local networking group up in New Hampshire. It was called Alpha Loft, and basically it's this company that helps startups with their ideas and turning them into businesses. They provide the education. It's kind of like a Style Collective version for startups up in New Hampshire. It's called an incubator. So they're funded by UNH and a bunch of other companies, and they have pitching competitions, and you can win funding for your business, which is really cool. And they would have these monthly networking events, so we met people there. Like if you go to a networking event for business professionals, there is definitely going to be lawyers there, accountants there, because that is their target audience that they're trying to network with. So I would recommend going to a networking event for business professionals and startups, entrepreneurs, things like that, and you will definitely be able to find an accountant or a lawyer to connect with in person and see if they're a good fit. That's how I found mine. I recommend you the covers of Maria Radguz. She's so good. Okay, I'll look into it. I don't know what that is, but thanks. Is there this information written down so I can refer back? Yes, this is all in the most recent blog post, which can be found on the education page when you are logged in. So go to log in, go to education, and it's under that page. You can access this. It's called Blog Expenses and Worksheets for Bloggers. Yeah, you're welcome. I hope that this was fun for you guys and it wasn't dry and boring, because I know that numbers can be scary and math is not always like everyone's favorite subject, even though I love numbers. But hopefully this makes it a little bit easier. There's some really fantastic apps that are out there that just automatically sync with your checking account, your credit card, even PayPal, and any other credit card processors that you use to intake revenue. Yay! It is good. It's good to know, especially when you're wearing so many hats. I mean, who has time for this stuff? So I'm really grateful you guys tuned in tonight to better yourself and learn about your blog expenses. You are taking the step in the right direction, and that is awesome. High five to you ladies. Great job tuning in tonight. All right, so I'm going to sign off. I will be back next Wednesday. If you are in the Tampa area, we are doing a meetup on Saturday. Brittany has all the information. If you guys know who Brittany is, she's the regional leader in Tampa. You can log on to Style Collective, go to community, and then regional leaders, and that's where you can find the regional leader in your area for a meetup that will be coming up in either August or September. So if you're in this area, hopefully I see you on Saturday night. Otherwise, if you're going to be in New York, I will see you at Fashion Week at our event in September. We're almost sold out. I cannot believe it. 300 people will be there, which is absolutely amazing because a year ago it was 28 people. It is so cool. So cool that you ladies are going to all be there for that. All right, so I will see you next Wednesday with another Instagram Live. I will share this so that it's live for 24 hours, and don't forget to log in and get all the information about tonight's topic and all the apps that I recommended along with the worksheet. And if you're not a member, you can click the link in our bio to get more details about joining Style Collective. All right, bye ladies.